Welcome back, everyone, to another team building tip with Dan Talbot on the Educational AD podcast. We'll get right back with Dan's tip for this week. But first, let's hear from our podcast sponsors. Also want to give a shout out to our two new partners. We have partnered with the Global Community of Women in High School Sports, Jen Brooks's great group. And we're also a partner now with We Coach Sports. That's wecoachsports.org. We're a member benefits partner. Go to wecoachsports.org for more information. And now let's hear from our sponsors. We want to thank SnapRaise for their support. Go to snapraise.com and see how better fundraising can make a better program. Our coaches use SnapRaise for years, and it was just great. There was no upfront cost. Your data is secure. I knew about it as an AD, but I wasn't involved. And what's more important, it works. Choosing the best fundraiser for you and your group is critical, and you can put the SnapRaise digital fundraising difference to work for your school. Go to snapraise.com and check out the thousands and thousands of dollars that they have helped schools raise, just like yours, over the years. Change your fundraising game plan and start a fundraiser that works for you. Go to snapraise.com. We also want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. They sponsor the Athletic Director's Toolbox segment of our podcast. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire athletic program. We use surveys at my schools for years, for coaches, for kids, and for parents, and the information that we got back was almost always positive. But the survey allowed that squeaky wheel parent to vent a little bit and sometimes identify a small problem that we could address and keep it from turning into a big problem because we didn't know about it because we hadn't done a survey. Go to athleticsurveys.com or email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We also want to say thanks to Final Forms. Final Forms can help your stakeholders with things like mobile accessibility, and they have reminders for parents about policies and physicals and all the forms you need for athletics. Final Forms can also help your coaches with attendance and communication, and even with their own certification management. And for athletic directors, Final Forms can help with eligibility and rosters and all the reports that come across your desk. You know, it's time that you took the next steps. Talk to a team that's walked in your shoes. Go to finalforms.com/Jake. That's finalforms.com/Jake to get started with Final Forms. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to huddle.com and see how over 200,000 teams are using Huddle to elevate the performance of their teams using video and analytics. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an athletic director, we were a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the online tools, the smart cameras, the analytics, of course, but there's so much more. If you're a club coach, Huddle can work for you. If you're coaching youth, you need to use Huddle. And high schools and colleges have been using Huddle for years. Even the pros use Huddle. If you want to find out more about what Huddle can do for you and your program and how your school can become a Huddle school, go to huddle.com and talk to their experts. Remember, at Huddle, we power sports. We also want to thank Gipper. Go to Gipper.com and see how athletic directors and coaches are creating world-class marketing content for their school social media channels. You can do it in seconds on any device, and you don't need any design experience. It's so easy, even I can do it. Go to Gipper.com and start creating world-class marketing content. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Go to hometownticketing.com. They will show you how to sell your tickets online, how to scan the attendees that come to your games, how to collect your revenue, and the entire time you're going to have a dedicated client success manager to support you every step of the way. Hometown Ticketing can also show you how to sell tickets for dances, for school plays, for graduation, and all sorts of events. Go to hometownticketing.com and start selling tickets. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. We also want to say thank you to Sideline Interactive. Their indoor scoring tables and video boards not only raise money for your department, but also create the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo and see their tables and boards in action. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com for more information. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. See exactly what their fantastic products can do for you. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs by Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a unique way to display your school's school records for all your teams, all the events, or a very cool way to display your school's athletic Hall of Fame, go to Wall of Fame by Vital Signs and talk to their pros. Their website is vitalsignswalloffame.com. Let them help you showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. You can also email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. They've got one mission: to help you bring your school's legacy to life. Welcome back, everyone, to another team building tip with Dan Talbot. For those of you listening, Dan's on the road representing a couple of organizations. Today, we're recording this on August 30th. It's the FHSA's Athletic Director Advisory Committee meetings. They have them throughout the year. Dan is on there in a number of capacities, but mostly representing our Florida Athletic Coaches Association. Obviously, he's a member of our FIAAA board. I think he was actually chairman of ADAC a few years ago.
Last year, yeah.
I think you were the chair right before I was the chair. So anyway, we're glad to have Dan. It's a busy time, so we're going to jump right into it. Dan, what do you got for us this week on team building tips?
Well, one of the things I want to talk about today, and it's not really, it's a tip, but it's a good reminder. This year, 2022 is a special year, and June's already passed. But as an athletic director, what are you doing right now to honor Title IX in the 50th anniversary of Title IX? It was an important, if you're involved in athletics, you hear Title IX every day in your job and how it impacts your job as an athletic administrator. And so I think you should really think about taking the time to honor Title IX in its history and all the great benefits that it's done. We did ours last spring, towards the end of school, because we're trying to hit that June mark, and we're not in Florida. We're not in school in June. I know the Florida High School Athletic Association right now has lapel pins that have the Florida and 50 years of Title IX on it that they're handing out to its members. But I encourage you as an athletic director, honor your female student athletes. We had one school in our district last year. The athletic director's name is Pam Lancaster. She got permission from her principal to get all her female student athletes in the school and go to the cafeteria and have breakfast. And she invited all the female athletic directors within the county to come out there and talk to the student athletes, and we've got some people that have, to give you an idea, one of my former athletic directors that worked under me, she was my wife's softball coach in high school. So she's very seasoned and been around a while, and is a very well-respected softball coach in our community. She's coached high school, she's coached college, and she's actually coaching again, helping a brand new school transition and training a softball coach to take over for before she officially retires again. So she brought in people like that to discuss. One of the most powerful speakers that she brought in, she has her girls flag football coach is from South America. And she got up and spoke on how they weren't even allowed to play sports where she lived. And this is recent. And just the impact that, all these opportunities that female student athletes have. And, one thing I wanted to do, but I was very reluctant to do it, is I wanted to go into that meeting with all the student athletes, and I wanted people to record it, and I wanted to say we're going to cancel all female sports. And I wanted to get that raw reaction from the women, and then stop them and say, look, I'm just kidding. But, life was like this at one point in time in our country, and female athletics has grown tremendously. And the thing is, I couldn't imagine sports without, females being a part of that. And, you think of the World Cup soccer, where she takes off her jersey after scoring the goal, or Mary Lou Retton, in the Olympics, hitting her gymnastics routine and sticking the landing. This year with Simone Biles, really taking a stand against mental health and stuff that, all these things, because when you're part of the older generation, there wasn't such thing as mental health. It was, get up and keep going. And it's now taking a toll on this current level of student athletes. So, our female athletes are raising awareness for us at things that we really need to focus on. And I think, Title IX is a great thing. And I think, don't forget, as an athletic administrator, to take the time, during this 2022, you got till now till Christmas, to think of something to honor those female student athletes in your school, because they are a part of something special. And you can also use it as an educational piece, to read those 37 words that, changed and shaped, high school sports in America today.
Wow, what a great topic to share. And you're right, it's not just, June is the 50th anniversary month. It's, do it the entire year. And it's, I guess, ironic that you would feature that today. Just in the last couple of weeks, I'm not trying to blow my own horn. You'll understand where I'm going here in a minute. In the last couple of weeks, we have partnered as a podcast with two great organizations. And if you're an athletic director listening to this and you're not sure how you might recognize, Title IX and everything about it, our two new partners. One is the Global Community of Women in High School Sports. Jen Brooks' great organization. Go to Global Community of Women in Sports.org. Hey, they're not a sponsor. We don't sponsor them, but we're a partner. We're promoting each other. Jen can put you in touch with people that will give you some great ideas, like the one you mentioned with Pam Lancaster. I remember she posted photos on Twitter of that. Reach out. Don't just say, well, guys, I don't know what to do. The other organization is We Coach. It's similar to the Global Community, but it's been around a little bit longer and focuses more on college. Go to wecoachsports.org. And again, our podcast, we're partnering with them to promote all their activities, all their member benefits. There's just two examples. And I think, Dan, you hit on the head. Talk to the former ADs in your school, in your district, what great resources. I'm a little bit older than you. I was a sophomore in high school in 1972. And I can remember going to basketball practice in the main gym, the big gym. And our girls basketball team, my girlfriend was on the girls basketball team, first one we had. They went over to we called it the East Gym, but it was just this tiny cracker box gym. That's where they practiced. That's where they played their games, their uniforms. I can't even call them uniform, but what a change from being allowed to play to now, where we see women's sports at today. And you're absolutely right. It's better, but we're certainly not done. So,
oh, absolutely. I don't think we're anywhere close to where we need to be. I mean, and hats off to Jen for what she's doing, she's a pioneer. I mean, that thing has, taken off, and she's doing great things. And I hate to say this, but I mean, my best athletic administrators are my female athletic administrators, and they're great to work with, and the attention to detail. And I think most male athletic directors are like, oh, I got this. And it's been a pleasure. But the Jen Brooks is a pioneer, so kudos to her and what she's doing for the female athletic administrators. I was fortunate enough that I just got a true assistant county athletic director for me in my district, and Courtney Windemaker I am blessed to have her working with me, because I think it's important for our female student athletes to see women in powerful leadership roles. And I think a lot of people they've ever heard about Polk County, Florida, we're a little bit, crazy when it comes to our sports programs in our high schools and the things that we do. I mean, if we could host every FHSA state final event, we would. We want those events in our county, and we understand the impact sports has in our community. So to have the opportunity to hire Courtney Windemaker was a great success for me. And it goes back to that old phrase, hire hard and manage easy, and that's exactly what I got. But it's been great for our female student athletes to, especially in she just started in the role, but it's nice to see when she goes to volleyball games, they ask who she is, and they're like, really? You're one of the county athletic directors, and it's really impressive to see. But we still have a long way to go, but I think we need to embrace Title IX and honor it. And I don't think, and I don't want to come on here and say, do something now and forget about it. It's one of those things where we have to honor it and carry it through, because it's so much beneficial to everyone that's involved in sports. And it could be great for your school and your community.
No, you're absolutely right. You don't honor it because it's on the calendar. Just like you don't get your girls' teams good uniforms because it's a federal law. You do it because it's the right thing. So again, that's how you honor the spirit of Title IX: is promote your teams, exactly the same way. Boys and girls, varsity, JV, however you want to call it, but you promote it because it's the right thing to do. Great point. Dan, as always, if one of our listeners wants to reach out, pick your brain, find out how they do things in Polk County, what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
Best way to get a hold of me, and everyone's always asked, I can't believe you give your phone number out. And my whole philosophy is this: they're going to get it somehow or some way. So I feel better about me giving it to you. So I can be reached at 863-661-0647. Again, that's 863-661-0647. I feel like we should have it like flashing at the bottom of the screen, like, one of those infomercials you see about 2:00 in the morning when you're an athletic director and you can't sleep because, you decided to check your email at 10 o'clock and you got a problem and it keeps you up late at night. So, but that's a topic for another day. Don't check your emails before you go to bed. You can't solve the problem at 10 o'clock. No point to check your email.
There you go. And again, for our NIAAA members, Dan's information's on the NIAAA portal as well. Dan Talbot, as always, great talking with you. Thanks for another great team building tip. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
For our listeners, you know the rest. Every single one of our episodes gets put up on YouTube. We appreciate you listening today. Come back again next week for another team building tip, and just about every day on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you then. As I said, we want to thank our new partners, the Global Community of Women in Sports. Go to globalcommunityofwomeninsports.org. Also, We Coach. Go to wecoachsports.org. Both organizations, fantastic resources. Get involved. They're looking for allies for their organization. And for our sponsors, Snap Mobile, great fundraising platform. Go to snapraise.com for more information. We also want to thank Final Forms, the industry leader in registration. Final Forms can help your parents, your coaches. They can help you as an AD. All the things that come across your desk, Final Forms can help get that organized. Go to finalforms.com/Jake for more information. That's finalforms.com/Jake to get started on the Final Forms team. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive. We were one of the first schools in Florida to have a Sideline Interactive indoor scoring table, and it's just fantastic. They not only raise money for your school, they create the ultimate game day experience for your athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com for more information. Sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to thank Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an athletic director, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com and see how their smart cameras, their analytics, even their mobile features can help you become a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com for more information. We also want to say thank you to Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. If you're looking for a very cool way to display your school's Hall of Fame or your record boards for every sport, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. You can also email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com to get started. Let them help you showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thank you to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com and see how athletic directors are creating world-class content for their school's social media channels. You can do it in seconds on any device, and you don't need any design experience. It's so easy, even I can do it. Go to Gipper.com and start creating world-class content. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Go to hometownticketing.com and your school can start selling tickets online, and you're going to have a dedicated customer service person with you every step of the way. That's hometownticketing.com. Simple and easy online ticketing. And we also want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. They sponsor the Athletic Director's Toolbox segment of our regular podcast. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com or email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. And thanks again for listening to Team Building Tips. We'll see you next week for another great team building tip and just about every day with new content on the Educational AD podcast. We'll see you next time.